Hello everyone, and welcome back to Old Charles. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of coin collecting, as we explore the story, history, and value of the United States Jefferson Nickel from 1977. Whether you're a new collector, a long-time numismatist, or just someone curious about the coins in your pocket change, this video will give you everything you need to know about the 1977 5-cent piece. So let's get started. The Jefferson Nickel has been a staple of American coinage since 1938. Designed by Felix Schlag, this coin features the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. On the reverse, you'll find his famous home, Monticello, located in Virginia, BY 1977. The design had already been in circulation for nearly 4 decades. This year was part of what we call the late pre-modern era of nickels, just before the U.S. Mint made minor updates in the 2000s. Unlike earlier wartime nickels made with silver, the 1977 Jefferson Nickel was struck in the standard composition of 75% copper and 25% nickel, weighing 5 grams with a diameter of 21.2 millimeters. The Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints all produced nickels in 1977, with the Philadelphia and Denver mints producing coins for circulation and the San Francisco Mint creating proof coins for collectors. Let's talk about how many were made. In 1977, the U.S. Mint struck 297 million nickels ** at the Philadelphia Mint with no mint mark. 297.3 million nickels ** at the Denver Mint with a D mint mark, and about 3.25 million proof nickels at the San Francisco Mint with the S mint mark. These are very high mintage numbers, which means that the 1977 nickel is not considered rare in circulated condition. However, like with many coins, the real value lies in the condition and special varieties. Now let's get to the part everyone is waiting for: the value. Most 1977 nickels you find in everyday change are only worth their face value, which is 5 cents. These coins can be worth around 25 cents to $1. Now we're talking about collector demand. A beautiful MS-65 coin may sell for around $5 to $15, while coins graded MS-66 or higher can reach $40 to $150 depending on rarity and demand. Proof coins, especially those with deep cameo contrast, can range in value from $2 to $15, and exceptional specimens can fetch $50 or more at auctions. And here's something exciting: if you happen to find a 1977 nickel with an error, such as an off-center strike, double die, or clipped planchet, the value could shoot up to hundreds of dollars, depending on the severity and uniqueness of the error. When it comes to coin collecting, condition is king. Let's break down what to look for in your 1977 nickel. The coin is heavily worn. Jefferson's hair and Monticello's details are flat. These usually only hold face value. You'll still see some sharper details in Jefferson's hair and Monticello's steps, but wear is noticeable. These coins may be slightly above face value. Light traces of wear on the highest points, with most details sharp and clean. These might be worth 10 to 25 cents. No wear at all, just bag marks or scratches from the minting process. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. An MS-67 coin could sell for well over $100. Look for mirror-like surfaces, frosted designs, and strong cameo contrast. A perfect proof, 70 is extremely rare and highly sought after by collectors. For collectors, the 1977 nickel is a fun and affordable addition to any Jefferson nickel collection. It's not considered rare, which makes it perfect for beginners, but high-grade coins and proofs give advanced collectors something to chase after. If you want to build a complete Jefferson nickel set, the 1977 issue is a must-have, especially in pristine mint state or proof condition. Plus, because so many were produced, it's relatively easy to find examples in circulation even today. So, to wrap it all up, the 1977 Jefferson nickel may not be a rare treasure in pocket change, but its value can rise significantly in uncirculated or proof condition. For most of us, it's worth 5 cents, but for collectors, the right coin could be worth hundreds of dollars. If you have a 1977 nickel, check its condition closely. Who knows? You might be holding on to something much more valuable than you thought. To truly understand the 1977 Jefferson Nickel, we have to step back and look at the long and fascinating history of the Jefferson Nickel series itself. The story begins in 1938, when the United States Mint decided it was time to replace the Buffalo nickel, which had been in circulation since 1913. While the Buffalo nickel had become an American classic, its design caused difficulties during minting. It was expensive to produce, and details wore down quickly in circulation. So, the Mint held a design competition for a new 5-cent coin. The winning artist was Felix Schlag, a German-born sculptor. His design featured a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, one of the most respected founding fathers, President of the United States from 1801 to 1809, and the man best known for drafting the Declaration of Independence. On the reverse, Schlag placed Monticello, Jefferson's neoclassical home in Charlottesville, Virginia, an architectural masterpiece Jefferson designed himself. This choice reflected both Jefferson's leadership and his contributions to architecture and innovation. The Jefferson nickel entered circulation on November 15, 1938, and it quickly became one of the most used coins in American commerce. From the very beginning, it was struck in the same composition we see in 1977, 75% copper and 25% nickel, a durable mix that gave the coin its silver-like appearance. Now, let's fast forward to the 1940s. During World War II, nickel, the metal, was considered a critical material for military production, used in weapons, armor, and machinery. To conserve nickel, the mint temporarily changed the composition of the 5-cent coin. Between 1942 and 1945, Jefferson nickels were made of 35% silver, 56% copper, and 9% manganese. These are known today as the famous war nickels. But once the war ended, the mint reverted to the original copper-nickel composition. Throughout the 1950s and 1960s, Jefferson nickels remained a common sight in every pocket, vending machine, and cash register in America. They became symbols of stability in the U.S. economy. Unlike dimes, quarters, and half dollars, which saw their silver content removed in 1965, nickels never contained silver after World War II, making them less affected by the great changes in U.S. coinage during the 1960s by the 1970s. The Jefferson nickel had already been in circulation for nearly 40 years. It was still serving the nation faithfully, unchanged in design. The year 1977 was part of a larger era when America was experiencing both cultural and economic transformation. The country was still dealing with inflation from the energy crisis of the 1970s, and coins played a vital role in everyday transactions. The nickel was widely used for bus fares, candy machines, arcade games, and countless small purchases that defined daily life. Minting technology in the 1970s had improved compared to the 1930s, but coins like the 1977 nickel still showed small imperfections such as weak strikes and bag marks for mass production. This makes finding a perfectly preserved example, known as a high mint state coin, quite difficult, which is why collectors prize them today. It's also worth noting that in 1977, the mint at Philadelphia and Denver struck hundreds of millions of nickels for general circulation, while the San Francisco Mint struck special proof versions for collectors. Proof nickels were carefully struck with polished dies, giving them mirror-like fields and frosted designs, a stark contrast to the circulation strikes. The Jefferson nickel design used in 1977 would continue largely unchanged until 2004, when the U.S. Mint launched the Westward Journey nickels to honor the Lewis and Clark expedition. After 66 years, Jefferson's classic portrait by Schlag was finally replaced with new designs. But in 1977, the coin still carried that original artwork, a reminder of America's heritage and its enduring respect for Jefferson's legacy. In many ways, the 1977 Jefferson nickel represents an important chapter in U.S. coinage, a coin that connected the early 20th century design traditions with the modern collecting world of today. It stood as a symbol of continuity in the U.S. monetary system, serving generations of Americans through times of war, prosperity, inflation, and change. When it comes to the value of the 1977 Jefferson nickel, one of the most important factors is its condition. In coin collecting, condition is measured using a grading scale that ranges from poor, P1, all the way to a perfect mint state or proof, 70. Each step up the scale can mean a huge difference in value. Let's go through what these conditions actually look like for the 1977 nickel and the lowest grades, often called good, G4, or very good, VG8. The coin has been through decades of circulation. The details on Jefferson's portrait are almost flat, with his hair blending into his forehead and the cheek appearing worn smooth. On the reverse, Monticello will look weak, with its columns and steps nearly worn away. These coins usually only carry face value, 5 cents, because they are so common and heavily worn. For most collectors, these serve as fillers until a better condition coin is found, and the fine, F12, grade, you'll start to see Jefferson's eye and cheek outlined more clearly, though most hair detail is still missing. Monticello's dome is visible, but the finer architectural details are faint. By the time we reach very fine, VF20 to VF30, Jefferson's hairline shows partial definition, and the lettering around the coin is sharp and bold. Monticello looks stronger, though still lacking its fine detail, extremely fine, XF40. The coin is still circulated but shows much more detail. You can make out the lines in Jefferson's hair and more detail in Monticello's steps and columns. However, there will still be light wear on the high points. These coins might fetch slightly above face value, usually around 10 to 20 cents to collectors looking for circulated sets. Coins in about uncirculated, -50 Australian dollars to -58 Australian dollars, are some of the most interesting for collectors. These nickels show only the slightest wear, often just on Jefferson's cheekbone or jawline, and on the dome of Monticello. To the casual eye, they may look brand new, but under close inspection, you'll notice a bit of rub on the highest points. These coins can be worth anywhere from 25 cents to $1, and they're often considered excellent, budget-friendly finds for new collectors. Now we enter the exciting world of mint state coins. These are coins that never circulated, meaning they have zero wear. However, they may still have imperfections like bag marks, scratches, or weak strikes from the minting process. This is where collector demand really picks up. A 1977 nickel in MS 65 grade shows sharp strike, strong luster, and minimal distractions. These can sell for $10 to $20 high quality with beautiful luster and almost no visible marks. A coin like this could reach $40 to $75 or more. Extremely rare for a 1977 nickel. Coins in this grade are sharply struck, nearly flawless, and visually stunning. These can sell for $100 to $300 plus, depending on the auction. Finding a 1977 nickel in such high grade is challenging because nickels were used heavily in everyday commerce, and few were saved right from the mint. Finally, let's talk about proof coins. These were made at the San Francisco Mint in 1977, specifically for collectors. Proof coins are not intended for circulation. Instead, they're struck using specially polished dies and planchets, often multiple times, to create a mirror-like finish with sharp details. Proof coins can be graded just like circulation coins, but the top designations to look for are cameo, CAM, and deep cameo, DCAM, where the design elements like Jefferson's portrait and Monticello appear frosted, contrasting beautifully against the mirrored background. Standard 1977 S proof may sell for $2 to $10, while a deep cameo in perfect PR 69 or PR 70 condition can be worth $50 to $150 depending on the market. Condition isn't just about wear. Collectors also value eye appeal, how attractive the coin looks overall. Toning, strike quality, and even unique errors can dramatically increase value. For example, a 1977 nickel with an off-center strike, double die error, or clipped planchet ** could sell for $50 to several $100, depending on how dramatic the error is. The main reason condition is so important is because of the huge mintages. With nearly 600 million nickels ** struck in 1977 across Philadelphia and Denver, lower-grade examples are extremely common. What collectors chase are the coins that survived in pristine, untouched condition. That's what makes a high-grade MS-67 coin so rare and valuable, not because few were made, but because almost all entered circulation and became worn over the decades. So, when you're looking at your 1977 nickel, pay close attention to the condition. Check Jefferson's cheek, his hairline, and the steps of Monticello. A heavily worn coin will likely only ever be worth 5 cents, but a gem-quality uncirculated example could be worth hundreds of dollars. Condition truly is everything in the world of coin collecting.